During every project there comes a point when problems are piling up, motivation is going down, and it's hard to see how everything can be solved. In German we call it the Tiefpunkt. We seem to have reached this point now.
We have a problem. Over the last weeks I've realized that even though we are technically about to finish a bunch of features and they are functional and good, we're missing the difference between good and great, which is that extra hour you get to spend on polishing. Whether this be gameplay or art, from a simple list it looks like we need more time to actually finish what we wanted to portray as good as it can possibly be. So I have this little problem of needing time for the 200 little things, and I'm going to have a rather tough conversation with my managing directors because of that. That's my current problem.
Hey Onur, you look concerned. What's up?
I'm thinking about our upcoming meeting in an hour. So I've been reading, looking into everything that we have documented so far. The bugs, the progress, the speed of production, all of that stuff. We have a couple of problems that need to be addressed, and in the current state, I'm afraid the only way to address them is to ask for more time. Everything we have built so far is working, right? But the problem is they're missing the last bits that make them beautifully, represented, displayed to the player.
Make it shine.
Yeah, it's documented in this way. It's like this part, one feature is perfectly working fine, except it's got 10 bugs, 10 minor tiny bugs attached to it. So if we fix those bugs, then we are distinctly making this feature unique than the other ones, for example. And in order to make them shine, the only decision left to make about them is do we spend the time on those, or do we spend the time on the other stuff?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about a list of 200 to 250 tiny bugs. So it's basically tons of tiny things that accumulate to time. Practically, I know this is not what you would want to hear, but practically a sensible extension of 3 months.
3 months?
Some of the team, yeah.
Fuck. Can't we do something with outsourcing or with
Not for these things. It's too much hassle for the in comparison to the value we would get if we did them in house.
We committed to the time. We have our budget and we are known for hitting our budget in time. So THQ Nordic is counting on us. So
I know. I'm aware of that. That's why it's not easy, but it's a risk with ambition.
It will be a tough talk, I'm sure.
But
has impacts on other projects. It's not something that can be decided easily.
Fair enough.
And we have to involve THQ Nordic.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk with Adrian. He won't be happy as well.
Sorry for the bad news, but yeah, it is what it is at this point.
All right.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
After our discussion downstairs, I looked at certain things, whatever we can quantify. Let's put it this way, right? There's one part I want to emphasize, which is simply the polish. Call it visual polish, call it gameplay polish. It's the little things here and there that we think are going to make the difference. Is there a way around it? Well, lack of polish is not something we want, and polish is something we can pretty much use to get the real message of the game across. So that's...
So what you're saying is we need more time?
We definitely need more time.
We have to discuss it. It's so not an easy thing to decide, and we definitely can't decide it on our own. We have to involve THQ Nordic if we want to go for it. But according to what Roland told me downstairs, I agree with him. It would be a mistake to not try to get the best out of the game.
Okay, then let's go to Vienna and talk to THQ. They won't be happy.
Definitely not.
That's game
Reality is not so changeable.
That's gonna be an interesting meeting, but okay. Quality comes first.
Alright, good to know.
Shall we? Okay, let's go to Vienna.
Alright. I'll meet you guys there.
Game development is a creative and very complex process.
Hey, we are here at the THQ Nordic headquarters in Vienna.
And any initial plan will not survive the first dose of reality. We did a very good job with Fate to Silence, but we would like to add some more resources to make it the awesome experience we are envisioning. However, this decision has to be made by our publisher THQ Nordic, who also happens to be our parent company. They have to consider not only the creative side, but also release plans, marketing capacity, the release date and competition around specific dates. Last but not least, they'll have to determine whether or not additional resources will lead to additional sales. Such critical topics are best discussed face to face. So, Andreas and I are heading over to the THQ headquarters in Vienna, Austria. Okay, we had an intense 2 hours discussion. Basically, we were on the same side, quality first. The challenge was to justify how extra time actually will improve the player experience. We went through a lot of tasks on our to-do list and through all of the feedback from early access. It was a fair but also very blunt discussion. Finally, we played our last card. Let's call it a hidden ace in the sleeve. Something we only can do with extra time, and it might turn out quite sexy for players. This made a difference, so... we got it. We can add extra capacities to Fate to Silence, so full steam ahead with development.
The best thing about Fade to Silence is the atmosphere it creates.
So surprisingly, the thing I like the most about the game is that it kind of pulls you in.
You have a lot of different features implemented, like
The music, the tension.
you are able to build a camp, recruit followers, go out and look for resources.
The post-apocalyptic winter eldritch nightmare.
It's a game with a great atmosphere. It's a great game where you really feel that the environment is going to kill you if you are not careful.
You're gonna play the game, then out of desperation maybe you'll quit and say, and suddenly you realize that you've been playing 4 hours straight.
It sucks you into the game and really immerses you.
And guess what? The next day you want to continue your journey.
What I like most about Fade to Silence is the mood.
I like the monsters.
For me it's graphics. I've always loved graphics. I loved the way graphics themselves evolves.
I really like the look of it. I mean, it's visually stunning.
That is completely overwhelming at the beginning, but you can fight tooth and claw for your survival and slowly gain more and more ground until you carve out a stable niche for yourself and even overtake the threats at the end.
It's an environment that will kill you, and the environment tells you that it will kill you. So I really like the mood we have in Fade to Silence.
And it's really nice walking through the landscape, and it's visually stunning, and you wish that landscape would be for real.
The graphics are completely outstanding, and it's not only about the visuals or the meshes, the environments. It's very everything.
Every now and then there's a monster coming along, and I think, oh, they animated you, why are you attacking me? But it's really pretty cool.
I like Fade to Silence mostly because it lets me fulfill my deepest desires of having a sort of diet where I can lose some weight and that I can freeze to that.
If there's one thing we want to show with BFG Unlocked, it is that game development isn't a straight road. A lot of problems can and will arise on the journey. For us, the last few months had plenty of unexpected challenges. A strong vision of our game and the passionate efforts of the whole team helped us to overcome them and finally to deliver. The Guild update we just released on Steam is the biggest update yet content-wise, and we are really happy with the result. Still, the roller coaster ride is not over. We have plenty of work still to do until Fade to Silence is finally released on consoles and PC. So stay tuned for more BFG Unlocked. This is Black Forest Games, I'm Adrian, I'm out.